If you're over 60, there's a silent condition that may already be changing your body without you realizing it. It's not painful at first, there's no warning sign when it starts, but one day you notice it's harder to stand up from a chair, or carrying groceries leaves you feeling winded, maybe you trip more often, or you've lost weight but not in a good way. What's happening? You could be losing muscle, and it's not your fault. After the age of 60, the average person loses about 1/3 of their muscle mass, and the process is so gradual and so silent, most people don't realize it until their strength is already gone. The medical name for it is sarcopenia. It's age-related muscle loss, and it affects millions of seniors. But what makes it truly dangerous is that muscle isn't just about how strong you feel. It's about how well you function. Your muscles help protect your joints. They support your balance, they regulate your metabolism, your blood sugar, your energy, and your ability to recover from illness or injury. So when your muscle disappears, so does your independence. Now here's the shocking part. Many doctors still tell patients that age-related muscle loss is just a normal part of getting older, that it can't be reversed. But that's not true. New research shows that with the right nutrients and the right kind of support, your body can rebuild muscle, even in your 70s and 80s. And the number one food that can help kickstart that process, it's not a fancy supplement. It's not a prescription drug. It's a single type of protein that you've probably heard of, but may not be using correctly. In this video, we'll explore what muscle loss looks like, how it affects your body, and why this one food, when used the right way, may help you rebuild muscle, increase strength, and stay independent for years longer than most people think possible. And before we dive in, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We release new videos every week designed to help you feel stronger, think clearer, and live longer, especially if you're over 60. All right, let's talk about what happens when your muscle starts disappearing. In the beginning, it's subtle. You might notice it's harder to get up from a low chair. You might feel a little less steady when stepping off a curb. Maybe you used to carry 2 grocery bags without thinking. Now one feels heavy. That's your body sending you a message. When we're young, we naturally build muscle just by moving. We walk, we lift things, we play, and our bodies respond by staying strong. But after 60, our bodies start to resist that process. Even if you stay active, your body doesn't build muscle the way it used to. It needs more protein, more recovery time, and more help from key nutrients. And here's where things start to spiral. When your muscles shrink, your metabolism slows. You burn fewer calories, you gain fat more easily, your blood sugar starts to climb, you might feel weaker, more tired, or even a little foggy. That's because muscle does more than just move your body. It powers it. Now let's take a closer look at what makes muscle disappear in the first place. So what exactly causes age-related muscle loss? It isn't just because you're getting older. Yes, age plays a role, but muscle loss is often triggered by a few specific factors that are completely preventable if you know what to look for. The first cause is something we don't talk about enough: low protein intake. As you age, your body becomes less efficient at using protein to rebuild muscle. That means the amount of protein that used to be enough in your 40s or 50s may no longer be cutting it. Seniors often eat less overall, smaller meals, simpler snacks, and in the process, they unintentionally eat far less protein than they actually need to maintain muscle. Your muscles are made of protein. Without enough protein, your body doesn't have the building blocks to repair tissue, recover from movement, or keep your strength. Over time, your muscles break down faster than they rebuild, and you begin to feel weaker, slower, and more unstable on your feet. The second factor is inactivity. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be hitting the gym, but many seniors are more sedentary than they think. Sitting too long during the day, avoiding stairs, or cutting back on walking all reduce muscle engagement. And when muscles aren't used regularly, the body assumes they're no longer needed and begins to shrink them. This is often made worse by illness or injury. Maybe you had a surgery, a hospital stay, or even a fall. And during that recovery time, your body started losing muscle at a rapid pace, sometimes in just days or weeks. That's why rebuilding muscle after 60 becomes not just a strength issue, but a health priority. Now, there's a third piece to this puzzle, and it's the one that most people, even health professionals, tend to overlook. It's inflammation. Low-grade inflammation increases as we age. It's a natural part of the aging process, but it can be made worse by poor diet, lack of sleep, certain medications, and chronic stress. And when inflammation rises, your body's ability to build and repair muscle drops. Inflammation interferes with how your cells process protein. It slows down tissue repair, and it makes your muscles more prone to injury, weakness, and breakdown. So even if you're eating enough protein and staying somewhat active, chronic inflammation can still cause your muscle to shrink behind the scenes. That brings us to the most important question. What's the one food that can fight all three of these problems: low protein intake, inactivity, and inflammation at the same time? The answer is high-quality animal-based protein, specifically lean, complete protein sources like eggs, chicken, and wild-caught fish. But among those, one food stands out because of its powerful nutritional profile, digestibility, and its unique ability to support aging muscle. That food is eggs. Let's talk about eggs. For years, eggs were misunderstood. People feared them because of cholesterol. They were told to eat only the whites or to avoid them altogether. But in recent years, that thinking has changed. We now know that eggs are not only safe for most people, they are one of the most complete and powerful foods for maintaining muscle, especially as we age. Here's why. Eggs contain all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to build and repair muscle. They're considered a complete protein source, meaning they provide the full spectrum of building blocks your muscles need to stay strong and functional. Just one large egg contains about 6 to 7 grams of high high-quality protein, and that protein is more bioavailable than almost any other food. That means your body can absorb and use it more efficiently than protein from beans, grains, or most plant sources. But that's not all. The yolk of the egg, the part that many people used to avoid, is actually packed with important nutrients for seniors. It contains vitamin D, which supports bone strength and muscle function. It provides choline, which helps your brain and nervous system send signals to your muscles. And it contains natural compounds like lutein and zeaxanthin, which help protect your eyes, something many seniors struggle with. Eggs are also easy to prepare. You don't need to cook a full meal. You don't need fancy ingredients. A couple of boiled eggs in the morning, a scrambled egg on toast, a hard-boiled egg as a snack. These are simple ways to get protein without a lot of effort, which is especially helpful if you live alone or just want quick options that support your health. And let's address the concern many people still have: cholesterol. Multiple studies now show that for the vast majority of people, dietary cholesterol from eggs does not raise blood cholesterol in a dangerous way. In fact, for many older adults, eating eggs may actually help improve HDL, the good cholesterol, while supporting muscle and metabolic health. In one study, older adults who ate more protein-rich foods like eggs had significantly greater muscle mass and strength compared to those who didn't. And in another study, people who added eggs to their daily routine showed improvements in energy, satiety, and overall physical performance. Now, does this mean you should eat a dozen eggs a day? Of course not. Balance is key, but including eggs as part of your daily or weekly routine can make a noticeable difference in your strength, your recovery, and your ability to maintain independence as you age. So how do you do it? The ideal way to eat eggs for muscle support is to include them in meals where they're not competing with high sugar or high carb foods. That means skipping the sugary toast, skipping the fruit juice, and focusing on pairing eggs with vegetables, healthy fats, or low glycemic carbs like avocado or whole grains. A great breakfast might be scrambled eggs with spinach and olive oil, or a hard-boiled egg with sliced cucumber and a sprinkle of sea salt. The goal is to make it easy, satisfying, and repeatable, so you can stick with it long term. Now that we understand the power of eggs and how they support your muscles, let's talk about how you can build an entire day around that concept. A routine that's easy to follow, doesn't require a strict diet, and gives your body the steady support it needs to maintain and rebuild muscle after 60. Let's start with breakfast, because that's where most people over 60 go wrong. Traditional breakfasts like toast, cereal, or fruit might seem light and easy on the stomach, but they're missing the one ingredient your muscles need most: protein. Instead, start your day with 2 eggs. You can scramble them, boil them, or poach them, whatever's easiest for you. Pair those eggs with a handful of sautéed spinach, a few slices of tomato, or even half an avocado for healthy fat. That single meal gives you a strong dose of protein, vitamins, and minerals to fuel your muscle right from the beginning of the day. Now let's look at lunch. You don't need a gourmet salad or a 3-course meal. Something as simple as a piece of grilled chicken, canned tuna, or a couple of hard-boiled eggs added to a salad can be perfect. The protein supports muscle tissue, and the fiber and antioxidants from greens help control inflammation. If you're still hungry, toss in a boiled egg as a side snack. The combination of protein and fat keeps you full without spiking your blood sugar, which is also critical for preventing muscle breakdown. Later in the day, let's say mid-afternoon, if you need a snack, skip the crackers, chips, or sugary granola bars. Instead, have a protein-rich option. Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or a small egg salad on a lettuce wrap are all great ideas. Remember, every time you include a small amount of protein, you're giving your muscles the signal to grow and stay active. At dinner, your focus should again be on building around protein. You don't have to eat eggs again, though you can if you want to. This is a great time for fish, turkey, or even a lentil-based dish if you prefer plant-based options. Add some cooked vegetables like broccoli or cauliflower, and perhaps a small sweet potato or quinoa to round it out. And just before bed, if you tend to feel hungry in the evening, it's better to have a protein-based snack than something sweet. A boiled egg, a slice of turkey, or even a warm mug of bone broth gives your body what it needs to recover and repair overnight. Now, why is this all so important? Because every time you eat a high-quality protein, like eggs, you activate a process in your body called muscle protein synthesis. That's the fancy name for rebuilding muscle. And if you're not triggering that process regularly, your body slips into muscle breakdown instead. The problem for many seniors is they eat too little protein too late in the day. A slice of toast for breakfast, a sandwich for lunch, and maybe some meat at dinner. But by then, their body has already spent most of the day in a state of muscle loss. That's why starting the day with eggs is such a powerful change. It signals your body right away: stay strong, stay balanced, stay in growth mode. And the good news is you don't need to overhaul your entire lifestyle to see results. These small changes, having 2 eggs in the morning, prioritizing protein at each meal, skipping the sugar, they add up. And within weeks, many people notice that they feel more energized, more stable on their feet, and even more confident in their movement. Let's bring it all together. A muscle loss after 60 is not something you have to accept as inevitable. It's not something you have to be afraid of either. It's something you can fight, and in many cases reverse, with small, smart changes. And one of the most powerful changes starts right on your plate with a simple, affordable, easy to prepare food that almost everyone has access to: egg. This one food provides the building blocks your muscles are starving for. It gives your body the signal to stay strong, rebuild, and resist the slow decline that many people face after retirement. And when you add eggs into a routine that includes balanced meals, moderate movement, and proper hydration, you create a foundation for strength that supports supports every other part of your life. You walk easier, you sleep better, you have more energy to play with your grandkids, do your errands, or work in the garden. And just as important, you reduce your risk of falls, fractures, and hospital visits that often come from weak muscles and unstable joints. Now, of course, eggs alone aren't a magic cure, but they are a reliable, proven, and deeply nourishing food that can be the backbone of a muscle-strengthening routine, especially when paired with real movement, smart recovery, and hydration. So, if you've been feeling weaker lately, if your legs feel a little less steady when you stand up, if you've noticed your energy or balance isn't what it used to be, don't brush it off as aging. Your body might be asking for help, and it might be asking for protein. Start tomorrow morning with 2 eggs. Make it a habit. Watch how you feel after a week, then 2, then a month. Track your strength, your steadiness, your ability to lift and move and reach, because those little signs, that's your body coming back online. And remember, it's never too late to take back your strength. Your muscles aren't gone. They're waiting to be rebuilt, and you have more power than you've been told, starting with the choices you make every time you eat. If this video helped you feel more informed and more in control of your health, please hit the subscribe button. We post clear, helpful videos every single week, made specifically for people over 60 who want real answers without hype. And if you've noticed changes in your own strength, good or bad, tell us about it in the comments. What's helped you stay strong? What are you struggling with? Your story might inspire someone else to take that first step. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. YouTube recommends you watch the one on the screen next.